Oh, I love, I mean, like, this is the genius of Peter Shaffer, the playwright. How to introduce audiences to an iconic genius. Like, everyone's heard of Mozart, even if you hate classical music. And everyone's expecting this august person. And, to put us in the POV of Salieri, we were all thinking who in this room is going to be Mozart. And the way they eventually introduce him, it's just so brilliant. It upends
Yeah, I know, it's
all
fantastic.
expectations.
It makes the film so much more lively and fresh.
And look at this. This is presumably what, handheld camera work, or is this the dolly shot? It's
Um,
wonderful. It brings that roving eye, the intimacy. We'll just move through the rooms.
the detail's
It almost
amazing.
reminds me of Robert Altman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just look at these costumes.
Yeah, I wish I had any knowledge of 18th century architecture because this movie is just perfect for it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, him to the Brock. But I have to say, this is definitely a movie after George R. R. Martin's own heart because just the food. There should be a cook and drink your way through Amadeus cookbook. I would definitely buy that.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you just see the door handle just squeeze down as he's going to let himself in. Brilliant. I
Oh,
mean,
the
look at
chocolate, it draws his eyes.
it. I've actually been in this room with all the swords on the wall and all the
Really?
hunting heads.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a public house you can go through.
Yeah, apparently they
Ah,
only they only needed to buy like oh they only needed to build like 4 sets. Everything else was just used locally.
this is such an exceptionally brilliant entrance.
Was that just all? I think that was all
I'm
one
always
take, was
amazed.
it? I think that was all one take, that whole roving, no, the tracking shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think technically this moving, and the thing is, you don't notice it because the costumes are so amazing and the acting's so amazing. You can almost forget just how good all the actual cinematography and the direction really is. Um, I'm always amazed in retrospect that Tom Hulce and F. Murray Abraham didn't have bigger movie careers. And I wonder if that's true choice, whether they chose to just make their play on Broadway and weren't interested.
Yeah, I can. I've seen F. Murray Abraham in a few things, especially on TV. He's been in like recent shows, but I can't remember ever seeing uh, Hulse in anything since this.
Yeah. And really, up until Homeland, I hadn't really seen much of F. Murray Abraham.
Yeah. Although apparently he was on the set of Scarface when he heard that he got the role for this movie, which is awesome.
Oh, the laugh. How did the laugh of Mozart come about? That must have been
It's
was so amazing.
it's apparently taken from letters which describe his laugh as sort of giddy and infectious and like glass scraping against like concrete or something.
It's so brilliant.
And I think the original playwright described it as this kind of mocking laughter of the gods who are tormenting Salieri.
But I certainly think, like up until this point, Salieri hasn't really done anything wrong. And I think if Mozart had been a different kind of man, a man that Salieri felt befitted the talent he'd been given, then they might have been friends, and he might have even been willing to be subservient to Amadeus, to Mozart. But just looking, it was almost like the gods are just openly mocking Salieri, like, ha ha, we're going to give all this talent to this complete, juvenile little shit. um,
Yeah, I guess it's the fact that he's lived such a, or he perceives such a sort of chaste and honest life, and it was all for nothing because this kind of this rogue over here who's done none of that has gotten all the talent that he desired for himself as a young boy.
yeah, I too could have been nibbling at the boob of some little landlord's daughter.
Yeah, I've wasted my life.
Exactly. Oh, the reaction shot. The Salieri reaction shot when he realizes this is Mozart. Absolutely priceless.
Oh, the colors. Look at all the food and the tablecloth. It's amazing.
I have to say, I do kind of miss the era of papal princes, the idea that you had both temporal and spiritual power. I mean, it must have been a really sweet life. You know, the papal prince of Salzburg.
So
So cool.
is that what the emperor is, or is that someone else? The,
No, no, no. So this boss that Mozart's now going to really piss off by showing up late at his own premiere,
oh,
who
okay.
then sacks him, and that must be a neighbour's cat in the garden. So I'm distracted. We we've had a bird massacre in the back garden. I think a fox has been at them.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's really sad. Yeah, anyway, so to get back to the papal princess, it's such a like, you know, as much as I'm such an enlightenment person in all my philosophical beliefs. I believe in democracy and citizenship and all this wonderful stuff. But you have to say that all that deeply unfair hierarchical bullshit from the 18th and 17th century did produce beautiful courts and regal power. And it would have been amazing to see it all at its height.
Yeah. Yeah, they knew how
Of
to.
course, I would have probably been the Scully or something.
Yeah, it'd be great if you were at the top, but maybe not if you're in the streets shoveling mud or whatever it is.
I would have been like the little scullery maid sort of paid by Salieri to spy on Mozart at best.